Hi everybody, it's Mina. So today in this video I'm going to do a movie review, and this is going to be my last one for a while, and today I'm going to do Finding Nemo. So Finding Nemo is about this clownfish named Marlin who after having a rough patch with his son gets taken away from him, and his son Nemo gets taken away from him, and then he along with this other fish, the specific blue regal named Dory, who befriends him. They go on a journey, and go on a journey together, and they try to find his son. Okay, to start off, I love Finding Nemo. It's actually one of my favorite Disney movies. Actually, just last week, I saw the new Finding Dory, the new sequel to it, Finding Dory, just recently last week, and it was awesome possum, just like this movie. I love Finding Nemo. Sorry, that was a little topic. I love Finding Nemo. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I love this movie because it has a lot of humor. I love the characters. I love the story, and I love the little father-son relationship that they have, and it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a cute little kids film. And that's what I love about Finding Nemo, is I like how it has kind of a father relationship son. So anyway, next I'm going to talk about the director. This was directed by Andrew Stanton, and Andrew Stanton directed Wall-E and Finding Dory, which is the new one I just recently saw, which is the sequel. I just saw that last week, like I mentioned before. Now I'm going to talk about the characters. I'm going to do the animal characters. I'm going to be talking pretty fast, because I do not want this video to get too long, because I've noticed every time I do the characters, I always pick mostly the main and the supporting characters throughout this video, but mostly I just do the character's name just so it goes by quicker. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to do all the animal characters. I really like Marlin. I like how he and Nemo have their ups and downs. Like, Marlin is afraid of the ocean due to the has a phobia of the ocean due to the fact that his wife and his 600 or how many ever children he had with his wife passed away. He has a fear of the ocean, but after his only family member Nemo is taken away from him, he decides to go through the ocean and conquer his fear into finding Nemo, and I really like that. How funny, Finding Nemo, and the name of the film is Finding Nemo. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to make a little joke there. Yeah, so he goes through the ocean to find his son, and that's what I really like, how at first he has a fear of the ocean, but then he learns to conquer his fear after his son gets taken away. And he's voiced by Albert Brooks, and Albert Brooks, I recognize him from the Finding Dory movie, which I just recently saw. Next, I'm going to talk about Dory. I really like Dory. She's probably my favorite character, and actually, fun fact, I did mention this in one video, that I was actually called Dory because I would forget things. So that's one little thing I have trouble with, is remembering things, just like Dory. She kind of reminds me so much of me because we both have terrible memory. And what I like about Dory is I like how she befriends Marlin and joins him on his quest to find Nemo. And they both work together, and Dory teaches Marlin to conquer his fears of the ocean, and she sticks by his side no matter how rude he can be to her. And that's what I really like, how she kind of forms a friendship with Marlin, because she also doesn't really have a good relation. She has never really had much of a friendship with any other fish besides Marlin. And I'm glad, and I like how she and Marlin are really good friends. And at first Marlin finds Dory kind of hopeless, but after he takes her on his adventure with him, he starts to think of her as his friend. And she is a Pacific Blue Regal Tang, and she's voiced by Ellen DeGeneres. And Ellen DeGeneres, I think, runs the Ellen TV show. I don't know if she still does. And I'm also pretty familiar with her. She did Finding Dory, and she's the prologue dog. I think she's the dog at the beginning of the movie. I'm not too sure. I just did some research on this. Yeah. Next, I'm going to talk about Nemo. What I like about Nemo is I like how at first he's annoyed with his father being so annoying. He finds him overprotective and worries too much about him, and I like how he and Marlin have a rough patch, but after Nemo gets taken away from him, he gets like so scared and wants his dad and stuff like that. And he wants to get home so bad, but I like how he befriends like other fish, and then he like learns that his father has conquered his fear of the ocean to find him and stuff like that, and that he really cares about him. And he's voiced by Alexander Gold, and Alexander Gold, I'm not familiar with him in anything else, and I'm actually familiar with Alexander Gold, I'm sorry. I meant to say I'm familiar with him from Bambi too, because he does the voice of Bambi. Next I'm going to talk about Gil. Now, what I like about Gil is I like how he and Nemo are both from the ocean, and, sorry, I'm kind of squinting my eyes because I can't really see the time on my thingy. Anyway, hey, I'm not wearing my glasses right now, that's why. So Nemo, okay, so I already talked about Nemo. So I like Gil, how he and Nemo are both from the ocean, and he wants to get back to the ocean too. And I like how he tries everything he can to get back to the ocean, even though some of his plans don't work, but he never gives up, and that's what I really like. And he's a Moorish idol. He's like one of those fishes. I forgot what kind of fishes those are. He's like a Moorish idol. He's like this shape, and he has like a winged fin or whatever they're called. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to explain it. And he is voiced by William Oafey, and he is in the movie Spider-Man. He plays Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and he's also in Spider-Man 2, and he also plays Norman Osborn in the Green Goblin. Who, by the way, they're both the Green Goblin. By the way, Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin, for those who didn't know. Next, I'm going to talk about Crush. I really like Crush. He's probably the second funniest character in this movie. He is a really cool father to his kid, and I like how he also like helps Nemo get through. Marlin get through the East Australian current, and he's like a surfer turtle. It is pretty cool. And he's a sea turtle, and he's voiced by Andrew Stanton. And by the way, Andrew Stanton is the director, for those who didn't know. And next I'm going to talk about Peach. What I like about Peach is I like how he is very cautious of Nemo. He thinks that he comforts him and cares for him. And like he watches out for him. And he also helps him out and he is a pink starfish, and he's voiced by Allison Janney, and Allison Janney I've seen in so many movies that if I named them all, it would take up so much time of this video. Next I'm going to talk about Bruce, and what I like about Bruce is he has his own little cool club where he has vegetarian sharks who don't eat fish. Well, actually not really vegetarians, sharks, but sharks who don't eat fish, and he's a pretty funny character, and I like how he starts his little club of sharks who don't eat fish, and he tries his best to become friends with the other fish. And he is a great white shark, by the way, and he's voiced by Barry Humphries, and Barry Humphries, I do not recognize him in anything else but this movie. Next I'm going to talk about Bubbles, and he's a yellow tang. And what I like about Bubbles is he's really obsessed with bubbles. Like every time like the little bubble box opens and bubbles come out, he gets like so excited. It's probably like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And seen is probably like, it's just funny. And then he's voiced by Stephen Root, and Stephen Root, I'm not familiar with him in anything else but this movie. Next I'm going to talk about Gurgle, and Gurgle is a royal grama. Darn it, I can't remember what a rograma is, I'm sorry. It's like some type of fish, and he's in the tank, and I like how he also helps Nemo and cares for him. Oh yeah, he's like that germophobic fish. Yeah, I forgot, sorry. He is a germophobic fish. I like how he's like all grossed out by the green stuff, and he's grossed out by the touching people who have been in the ocean and not decontaminated. I love how he's like a complete germophobic. It is pretty funny. And he is voiced by Austin Pendleton, and Austin Pendleton, I remember him from What's Up, Doc, and he plays Frederick Larrabee. And there's another character that I left out, and that is Deb. Whoops. And she's like some kind of blue and white striped fish. I can't think of the name of the fish she is. And what I like about her is I like how she thinks her reflection is her sister. It's so funny. She like looks at her reflection and then it turns out and thinks of it as her sister Flo. It's so funny. Funny. And it looks just like her. And okay, so let me start her. She has a reflection that she calls her sister Flo, and she doesn't even notice it's her reflection. It's so funny. And I don't know what fish she is, and I don't know who she's voiced by because I forgot to put her on the list. Whoops, my bad. Oh man, this video is getting long. I gotta hurry. Next, I'm going to talk about Jacques, and Jacques is a cleaner shrimp, and he is like kind of a neat freak shrimp. Like he'll clean like everything. He'll clean like the cage. He'll clean like the fishes, and he'll clean like practically everything. And he, I love his little French accent. It's pretty funny, and I kind of like how he kisses his hand every time he like he leaves or comes in. And he's voiced by Joe Rampt, and Joe Rampt does the animation for so many movies that I have seen, and that if I named them all, it would take up so much time. Sorry I'm talking really fast, I'm kind of running out of time on this video. Next I'm going to talk about Nigel. What I like about Nigel is I like how he helps Marlin and Dory, and even though pelicans are supposed to eat fish, I like how he doesn't eat them and wants to do anything he can to help like Marlin and Dory get to Nemo. And he cares for the other fish and won't eat them. You know, like the tank fish in the dentist's office, and he's really good friends with them. And he is voiced by Geoffrey Rush, and Geoffrey Rush, I recognize him from Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and he plays Captain Barbossa, and also Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and he also plays Captain Barbossa. Next I'm going to talk about the humans. Then I don't really like Dr. Philip Sherman because he kidnaps, what's his name? He kidnaps Nemo, sorry, but I didn't mean what's his name. Because he kidnaps Nemo, but he mistakes him for being abandoned on the reef. So he takes him in, but man, I like how he kind of takes him in, but I hate how he takes Nemo from his home. So, and he's voiced by Bill Hunter, and Bill Hunter I recognize as Blue from Kangaroo Jack. Next I'm going to talk about the setting. This takes place in the Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is like probably the most beautiful part of the ocean I've ever seen. I love the water effect. It's really cool. I love the ocean stuff. It's really beautiful and colorful. I like how they have all the little ocean scenery. It's so amazing, especially in the water. I love the water effect and stuff. It's amazing. The animation in that is just beautiful. They did such a good job. Okay, so I would recommend Finding Nemo to those who like comedy. Good father-son relationship, because this has a good father-son relationship. Funny characters. Ocean and fish, because this has a lot of fish and ocean stuff. It's really cool. Really cool, and I also just would recommend it to anybody who likes Australia, because Australia is a beautiful place. Okay, so that was my review on Finding Nemo. I'm sorry this was so long, but I'm sorry I'm talking really fast. I want this video to end really fast. So that was my review on Finding Nemo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!